What is the first thing that comes in your mind when you see a doctor? This? Oh no. This? No. Well, the first thing that comes in my mind is this. That is diseases. And the study which deals with diseases is known as pathology. So you understand how much important pathology is in our medical study. Today, we are going to discuss about one of the very important topics of general pathology, that is neoplasia, neoplasm, or more commonly known as tumors. What is neoplasia? Neo means new and plasia means growth. Neoplasia is a new growth or abnormal growth of the normal tissue which does not coordinate with the rate and morphological features of the normal tissue and persist even after the stimuli is blocked. So, Willis has defined neoplasia as such. A neoplasm is an abnormal mass of tissue, the growth of which exceeds and is uncoordinated with that of the normal tissues and persists in the same excessive manner after cessation of the stimuli which evoke the change. But there were two exceptions of Willis' definition. One is carcinoma in situ and the other is hormone-dependent carcinoma. Carcinoma in situ is not an mass of tissue and hormone-dependent carcinoma does not persist after cessation of the stimuli. So, we had to define neoplasia in a more modern way, and that was a neoplasm is a disorder of cell growth that is triggered by a series of acquired mutations affecting a single cell and its clonal progeny. As Willis' definition is more liked among our teachers, so we emphasize on Willis' definition more. Well, a tumor has two components. One is the neoplastic cells which forms the parenchyma, and the other one is the connective tissue, blood vessels and immune cells which form the reactive stroma. So a tumor has two components, parenchyma and the reactive stroma. Well, the classification of neoplasia is very difficult, elongated and a bit confusing. So today we are going to discuss it in a simple manner. Well, when you get to see a tumor or a neoplasia, the first thing you do is observe. So you see it with naked eye. And so the first classification is naked eye appearance. Then you take a biopsy or cytological aspiration and see it under microscope. So histology or histological classification. Then you try to find the origin of it. So there comes histogenic or etiological classification. And then we try to know how it behaves. So behavioral or functional classification. According to naked eye appearance, the first form is annular form. Annular means ring, and in this form, a ring-like structure is formed by the abnormal mass, so it is known as annular form. The second form is fungating, which means cauliflower-like. Here we can see that the mass is like a cauliflower. The third form is serous form, which is a hard, slow-growing form. In the picture, we can see a hard, slow-growing tumor in the breast, which is the serous carcinoma of breast. And there is another form which is encephaloid form. As we know, encephaloid means related to brain tissue. So, morphologically, this tumor will look like brain tissue. And then again, medullary means inner region of an organ. So, generally, we cannot see this type of tumor from outside. So, according to naked eye appearance, we have annular form, fungating form, serous form, encephaloid form and medullary form. Then come to histogenic classification or according to origin. It can be of three types. Tumor consisting of one parenchymal cell type, mixed tumor and teratoma. In one parenchymal cell type, there will be only one type of cells which will originate from one single germ layer. It will be either epithelial or mesenchymal. As an example, epithelial tumors can be basal cell or squamous cell papilloma, and for mesenchymal, we will have fibroma, lipoma and many other forms. In the mixed tumor, the cells will arise from a single germ layer, but there will be many types of cell. As an example, pleomorphic adenoma of the salivary gland is formed by two types of cell, ductal and myoepithelial cell, but both these cells arise from a single germ layer. That's why it is known as a mixed tumor. Then comes teratoma. Here the types of the cells are multiple and also they arrive from multiple germ layers. So multiple germ layer and multiple cell types. As an example, in the totipotent cells of the ovary, a neoplasm is formed which is known as teratoma, as the totipotent cells give rise to all germ layer cells. So it is a teratoma or totipotential cell neoplasm. So according to histogenic classification, we have tumor consisting of one parenchymal cell type, mixed tumor and teratoma. This classification solely depends on the function of the tumor generating cell, such as insulinoma secretes insulin, glucagonoma secretes glucagon. So this classification is solely based on function. Then comes etiological classification, as most of the causes of tumor generation is unknown, so etiological classification is impractical. Then comes histological classification, which will be discussed later in the video. Now come to the most important part or most important classification, which is the behavioral classification. According to behavior, the tumors are divided into two forms, benign and malignant. As we know, the meaning of the word benign is mild or kind, and the meaning of the word malignant is evil in nature or aggressive. So, the benign tumor is a mild or innocent tumor, and the malignant tumor is an aggressive tumor or it has an evil nature. Malignant tumor is commonly known as cancer. The basis on which these two classes are differentiated is localization or differentiation, which can be broadly termed as differentiation and anaplasia. Now comes the question, what is differentiation and what is anaplasia? Differentiation. The first thing that comes in our mind after hearing differentiation is differ or difference. And difference between two structures rely on the extent of resemblance. So, differentiation can be defined broadly as the extent to which neoplastic cells resemble the corresponding normal parenchymal cells, both morphologically and functionally. So if we say well differentiated, it means more similar to normal cells or more resemblance to normal cells. That means less difference. And if we say poorly differentiated, it means less similarity to normal cells. That means the extent of resemblance to the normal tissue is less, more difference. And as we know, the more the difference will grow from the normal tissue, the hard it will get to treat. So it will have poor prognosis. So the classification which we skipped before, that was histological classification. It will be easier to understand it now as we have discussed differentiation already. According to histological classification, the neoplasms are divided into four types: well differentiated, moderately differentiated, poorly differentiated and undifferentiated. Undifferentiated means completely different. So there will be very less resemblance to that of the normal tissue. And the prognosis will be in the same direction as we discussed before. So well differentiated will have good prognosis, moderately differentiated will have less prognosis, poorly differentiated will have even less prognosis, and the undifferentiated will have no prognosis at all, or the prognosis will be very minimum. Anaplasia. Anaplasia means lack of differentiation. That means there will be very poor differentiation. And as we have discussed before that malignant tumors have very poor differentiation, so we can say that anaplasia is a hallmark of malignancy. But how we get to know that an anaplastic cell is poorly differentiated from that of the normal cell, or it has more difference? There are some features of anaplasia. Those are pleomorphism, abnormal nuclear morphology, mitosis, loss of polarity, and other changes. Pleomorphism means variation in morphology. And as we know, size and shape are the key points of morphology. Pleomorphism refers to size and shape alteration. So the cell size will be abnormal, the cell shape will be abnormal. Then abnormal nuclear morphology. The nucleus will be hyperchromatic, will be variable in shape, it will have a large nucleoli, and the more important point is nucleus is to cytoplasm ratio 1:1. As we know that in a normal cell, the cytoplasm is much more in amount than that of the nucleus. But in anaplastic cell, the nucleus becomes large, so the cytoplasm and nucleus ratio becomes almost 1:1. Then comes mitosis. As we know, most of the human cells have a bipolar mitotic spindle, but in anaplastic cell, the mitotic spindles will become tripolar, quadripolar, or multipolar than that of the normal bipolar. There will be loss of polarity. That means there will be some changes in architecture, and there will be some other changes like giant cell formation, hemorrhage, or necrosis. So by seeing these features, we can differentiate anaplastic cell from a normal cell, and we can differentiate lack of differentiation. Let's move on. As we know that the hallmark of malignant tumors are anaplasia, so we can say the features of anaplasia are the features of malignant tumor. The malignant tumors will have pleomorphism, will have abnormal nuclear morphology, will have tripolar, quadripolar, or multipolar mitotic spindles, will have loss of polarity in their cells, and there will be other changes like giant cell formation, hemorrhage, or necrosis. And there are some extra points also. Those are rapid growth, invasion, and metastasis. And as we know that malignant tumors are evil in nature, those will be fatal. The characteristics of benign tumor are wholly opposite to that of the malignant tumor. So we can say that the benign tumor will be well differentiated. That means there will be more resemblance to the normal tissue, less difference. Slow growth rate, small in size, no metastases, innocent according to its name, or if it becomes harmful, it will have complete recovery, and as it has a well differentiated cell, it will have a capsule. So the characteristics of the benign tumor are capsule, innocent or harmful and complete recovery, no metastasis, small size, small growth, and well differentiated. Thank you for watching our video. In our next video, we will discuss about invasion, metastasis, carcinoma in situ, and all the aspects of neoplasia which are left. So please watch our next video. Stay safe, stay with CallosumBD, and if you like our video, please do like, share, and subscribe to our channel.